I'll try again, see if anybody comes on this time. In the meantime, I'll just carry on with my crocheting if I'm going to be on my own. There's nothing much I can do about the buffering, I'm afraid. It's my rubbish connection. So nobody's joined me, so... Oh, hi Lydia. We'll see how long it lasts this time before it goes off again. Two people or four people have joined now. We'll see how long it takes before it starts buffering again. Oh, hi Carla. I'm having problems with my internet. Hello again, Nathan. Let's hope it's better this time. See how long it lasts before it starts buffering again. Do you win a prize? I don't know. It's usually Chris who's usually the first one. I don't know where Chris is tonight. He's usually the one who sends me a Facebook message if I've not come on, saying, where are you? No, I don't think I'm actually... Oh, what am I doing? Going around the wrong way, you silly fool. I don't think I'm actually on Facebook at the minute, so if anybody sends me a message on there, I won't get it. Hi, Cynthia. Hello, Sandra again. Well, there's 12 people on here. There was only 4 on the last time because everybody left. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. I really don't know, Sandra. But it was buffering earlier on when I was trying to watch something on YouTube. It kept buffering on me. Something to do with, I don't know what it is. We used to have good internet when we first come here. I think maybe we've got too many things linked to it. You know, too many places we've got internet. The more we add on, the worse the signal goes, yeah. I don't know what the signal's like. No, I still only got 3. Still only got 3 bars. I mean, the minimum I usually get is 4 bars. So it really is not good. Not good. I'll just carry on crocheting. You've got no connection, Rebecca. We're all suffering today then, aren't we? I'll have a drink. If in doubt, have a drink of coffee. I'll just sit here and talk to myself. Because obviously it's buffering and nobody's going to talk to me. Oh, you're back, BB. Oh, you're back, Rebecca. Good. For how long, Rebecca? I have no idea before I start buffering again. It's so annoying when it does that. Can't keep going out and coming back in again. Oh, stop it, inherited stitches. I'm hungry. I'm going to have my crisps. I know it's early, but I'm going to have my crisps. I'm hungry. Yeah. I hate lukewarm coffee. I really do. I don't mind it cold. I don't mind it hot, but I hate it when it's lukewarm in between. Yay, I'm back. I tried again. It's not saying I'm buffering at the minute, so just keep your fingers crossed, everybody. Or whatever it is you cross. I'm hungry. Cheese and crackers. Oh. Wish I had cheese and crackers. That's nice. Keep meaning to get some proper crackers. We've only got Ryvitas. Yeah, it's not a nice word. Bint, yeah. That's not nice. It's not filthy, it's just rude. Yeah. It's a bit like a bitch, but worse, yeah. It means you've got no respect for the person that you're calling that name. That you think she's a bit loose morals, let's just say. Yeah. But it isn't actually a swear word, no. We're back live, but we don't know how long for. My internet connection, who knows? Got snack like crisps. It's a girl or a woman, but it's not a nice one, is it, Nathan? I wouldn't like to be called it, let's just say. You've had 2 cans of Brush's baked beans. 2 cans? Give you wind. Yeah, it is an old-fashioned word, yeah. It's still not a nice word, though, is it? My son said he can't tell the difference between these and Walkers. I can. But I went in Iceland and they had all different flavours of Walkers, but they didn't have any plain. Yeah, they are talking about a woman, but they're not talking about her in nice terms. I think they used to say it more years ago. I don't think it's a modern word. Unless I'm wrong. But I used to hear it more a long time ago than what I do now. It's all right, Lydia. We usually wind up in the gutter anyway, don't we? My conversation goes from the sublime to the ridiculous. Don't worry about it. Oh, there you are. Contemptuous term used to refer to a woman or a girl. Yeah, I wouldn't like to be called it, would you? I wonder where Chris is tonight. No, Miguel's off and this until later. But Chris is normally the one who, yes, spinster of this parish. Ooh. Why does bachelor sound quite nice, doesn't it? But spinster. Ooh. No, my favourite is just plain salted crisps, Pauline. I don't like flavours. That's why I couldn't get any Walkers. Yeah. Yeah, it probably was, yeah. In Victorian times, yeah. My son said I'm a crisp snob because I only like Walkers. Yeah, but it's an old, set in the old times, that's probably why. Mm. Yeah, it said spinster on my wedding certificate. Spinster always conjures up some sad woman in her 60s or 70s that never got married to me. I never thought at 22 I'd be a spinster. I know it means an unmarried lady, but I just don't think it's a nice word. Bachelor sounds okay. Yeah, spinster sounds like an old maid. The people used to call my two aunties who never got married maiden aunts. And I thought, how do you know they're maidens? They might have had a dodgy past. I doubt it, but yeah. Yeah, it's a funny term, isn't it, if you got married when you were... Yeah, but on legal documents, even if you got married at 16, you'd still be a spinster, wouldn't you? You asked Alexa. What did Alexa say? Go away, Nathan, you're not a spinster. It has two meanings, does it? What's the second meaning then? When they read my banns out, I think they said spinster of this parish. I was 22. Oh. I suddenly started singing Remember You're a Womble then, Sean, in my head. I remember my son, aged 2, being terribly upset. We went down to a wedding in Wimbledon and he wanted to go to Wimbledon Common and we took him and he was really upset because there was no Wombles there. Yeah, my mum used to say, oh, my giddy, aren't you? Yeah, geriatric pregnancy. She had the Pinky and Perky vinyl, yeah. No, my son was so disappointed because there was no Wombles on Wimbledon. And he kept saying, do you think they're over there? Do you think they're over there? Where do you think they might be? But he was only 2, so bless him. My daughter-in-law, sorry, my sister-in-law, she was 30, either 34 or 36 when she had her first baby. They were all looking at it. It's your first. It's your first. She didn't get married until she was in her 30s. What do they expect? I was 23 when I had my son. But I always had a very, very young face, and I used to have my hair with a fringe and dead long straight hair. And I can remember when I came round, because I had anaesthetic and I was out of it. When I came round, like the older women in the ward were saying, oh my God, she's such a baby and she's had a bad time. And I can remember coming out of me fog and haze, me anaesthetic haze, saying I'm 23. Yeah, I was 23, but I looked about 16. Everybody thought I was a teenager. I never got served in the pub. I kept saying, I'm 23, I've got a baby. And they kept saying, you don't look it. Because there was no such thing as ID in them days. Yeah, couldn't get a drink in a pub. They wouldn't serve me. Yeah, my dad used to say that's why I was the last. My brother was bad enough, but I came along, that was the... He used to say, you put the top hat on it all. I think times have changed now. I mean, there was a woman in my ward when I'd had my son, and she was 42 or something. I remember people sort of looking at her saying, oh, she's so old to be having another baby. So old. I mean, now people are 42 are having their first, aren't they? Times have changed. Yeah, my mum was nearly 40, I think, when she had me. She must have been in her late 30s when she had me. I always thought my mum was dead old. You know, we went to school functions and stuff like that. I remember thinking, oh, God, my mum's so old. It wasn't that she was old. I wouldn't say she was frumpy, but she didn't dress to fashion, my mum. She just was, you know, if you know what I mean. She was just my mum. So she always looked older than she was, you know. Frizzy perm, you know, the kind that was fashionable back then. Frizzy perm and flowery dresses. And I always used to think, oh, God, she looks so old. You know, some of the other mums at school were like really young looking and dressed a bit trendy. And then my mum rolled up looking like, you know, I mean, she'd be 50 something when I was like at senior school. I remember thinking, oh my God, my mother looks so old. I mean, you can be older and dress younger and trendy. I mean, nowadays, grannies don't look like grannies anymore, do they? All right, baby. It's nice to speak to you anyway. I'm glad you managed to get in, even if you didn't stay that long. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering where Chris is. Yeah. Well, my grandma on my mum's side, she had babies right into her late 40s. How long did my mum live for? She was just shy of 90, I think. Um, yeah, I don't think she got to 90. I think she just missed her 90th. My mum was never fashionable. Well, we never had any money, let's face it, when I was a kid. The last thing my mother would be wanting would be buying new clothes for herself, you know. Oh dear, I hope Chris is okay then if he goes on the same lives, yeah. Hmm. He's usually the first one in here, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad when they go young, isn't it? I did have my mum like for many, many years until your evil grandma's pushing. My grannies were both lovely. They both got to the 90s, my grannies. I had two lovely grandmas. Although my dad's mum, she favoured my brother. When I used to walk in, she used to look past me and say, "Is Colin not with you?" Nice when you're a kid, isn't it? And somebody looks past you and says, "Is Colin not with you?" I was expecting Colin. Oh, Chris's house sitting. Oh, right. Biden is for now. As long as he's all right, Sandra, that's all I'm bothered about. Yeah. My granny on my mum's side, she had no favourite grandchildren. She was nice to everybody. But talking to my cousins, my grandma on my dad's side, they said she didn't like them at all. Well, my sons, all of his grandmas are dead. Because his dad's mum, well, biological mum, passed away when she had him. So that was his real grandma gone. And then his other grandma died when he was only young. He had my mum until he was a teenager, or around about 20, I think. He had my mum. And my dad. So he did have grandma and granddad. My ex-husband's parents passed away before. What's the candy bar? It's a Mars bar. A Mars a day helps you work restably. That's what they used to say before it was all to do with sugar. I wasn't a latchkey kid. My grandma lived about 7 or 8 doors further up the street. So if my mum wasn't in, I used to just go to my grandma's. Oh, my mother-in-law was crazy. And I mean that in all senses of the word, she was really. I wouldn't let near my son. A lot of my friends were latchkey kids. I used to envy them because they had a key on a string around their neck and I never had one. You don't need one, you just go to your grandma's who are not in. It was a generational thing. There was no money about, so women had to go out to work. So if your mum wasn't in, you just let yourself in. You were at boarding school from age 8. I didn't know you was posh, Nathan. Did you go to Gordonstoun? I try not to hate my mother-in-law, but I really didn't like her. was horrible to me. Horrible. I used to go around when I had a baby, clean a house from top to bottom because it was disgusting. Because of her mental trouble, she didn't clean. The house was disgraceful. And I wouldn't go around with the baby because it was so filthy. So I used to go around and clean it. And she never did hands turn after I'd cleaned it. I'd scrub it from top to bottom. And I'd go around a week later and it was just as bad because she wouldn't have done a damn thing. Oh, you were naughty boy, were you? What, at age 8? I don't know where Chris is, Cass. You know more than I do. She never had a good word to say for me, my mother-in-law, even though I used to do that. I was working and all, working with a baby. I used to spend one day a week when it was my day off. Well, not one day a month, I should say. Scrubbing her house. I did all the washing for her. And she never had a good word to say about me. I used to go through the door and she'd say, oh, hello. You think she'd be grateful, wouldn't you? But no, she never was. Eventually, I stopped doing it. I said, no, let her stew in her own shit. I'm not doing it anymore. I wouldn't have minded if she'd have made some attempt to keep it clean. He came home every weekend. I've never heard of a boarding school like that, Nathan, except, you know, where posh people get rid of the kids to because they can't be bothered looking after them, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about inherited stitches. I remember feeling so guilty because I felt so relieved when my mother-in-law died, and I thought, you shouldn't feel like this, you should feel sad. Yeah, to be quite honest, I don't think my ex-husband was all that bothered. But I couldn't say much because he used to say, don't say things like that. She only ever used to say it when there was only me and her. She never said it when anybody else was listening, you know what I mean? So it looked like it was me making stuff up, yeah. Yeah. My mum and dad were really hard workers. They worked. They worked. And yet my mother-in-law would say things like, oh, it's okay for you. You have money. Your mum and dad are lucky. I used to see red. I used to say, they are not lucky. They've worked 7 days a week. What have you done? Sat on your backside and done nothing. She never had a job in all her life, I don't think. She was a housewife. And yet she called my mum and dad lucky. Oh, that made me so mad because my mum and dad worked so hard. They worked every hour that God sent, and so they were not lucky to have money. They made money because they worked for it. So she made me mad for that reason alone. Yeah. It's like my brother. My brother had a really, really good job, and he had enough money, and he had a lovely house and that. But I was never jealous of him because he worked plumbing hard. He worked very hard to get what he did and get where he got, yeah. So I never thought my brother was lucky. My brother worked hard. I would have never thought that about you, Nathan. You having a behavioural problem? I thought you were goody two-shoes. I was goody two-shoes when I was at school. I wouldn't say boo to a goose. Oh, yeah, housewife. What was that Zaza Gabor used to always say? She was a housewife because she always kept the house and she got divorced, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it makes me mad, inherited stitches, when some people say, oh, your mum and dad were so lucky. Hmm. Yeah. If you call lucky working like 12 hours a day. I mean, when I was a teenager, that's when we started to get a little bit of money. I don't mean a lot of money. We've never been rich. But when I was a teenager and we got the wool shop, and we started to be able to have money that we could breathe with, if you know what I mean. We weren't hand to mouth anymore. And yeah, I mean, I've always had to work for my money. When I first got married, we had nothing. We had nought. Buying our own house, and you know, my husband didn't have a great job at the time. Well, he did have a good job, but he was on apprenticeship money, which they don't have these days. Kids today expect to get like loads and loads of money, and they get. But in my ex-husband's day, you went for an apprentice, and you didn't get your full money until you'd finish your apprenticeship, which could be anything up to 7 years. Yeah. So when we first got married, we had absolutely nothing. We just about lurched from one payday to the other. I had to go back to work. I didn't want to. I had a new baby. I didn't want to go back to work. Fortunately, I went back to work with my mum and dad, so I could take my son with me. It wasn't like I had to leave him at a nursery or anything. So, I mean, I've always had to work hard. You know, my life's never been easy. I mean, there were periods in my life when my husband did get a good job, and we didn't have loads of money, but we didn't struggle. Let's just say that's the difference, isn't it? But no, it wouldn't be called ADHD when you were young, Nathan. It was just called you were a naughty boy. Yeah. Yeah, I always had every move I've ever made in my life has always been for the worst. I've never gone up in the world, I always come down. I come down in the world when I got divorced because I lost my husband's income, obviously. My income wasn't that good because I worked it for myself. And when you work for yourself, believe me, it's not good money. So I always had to supplement my income by crocheting and knitting for people, you know, to help out with the bills. That was why I had my shop in the first place, yeah. Oh no, I'm better off now, inherited stitches, than I've been for a long time. Because I sold my house and bought this one for less, if you know what I mean. So I mean, by the time we've paid for everything and that, I have nothing left kind of thing, but I do have some money in the bank, not much. I'm saving up for a mobility scooter. I haven't got enough money for that. But it's nice to be like not on the breadline anymore, you know, not looking each month to see whether you can afford to buy something or not. I don't have that worry anymore. I mean, I can't go crazy, don't get me wrong. But to know that I can actually, you know, I could actually order this wool, this yarn, without having to think, can I afford it? Have I got enough money in the bank, you know? So it was nice to just be able to just buy it, you know. I mean, I must admit, when I got the bill for it, but because I ordered, I mean, I've got my bill here. I tucked it away so my son wouldn't see it. I ordered, wait a minute. Yeah, 10, 20, 30, 45. I ordered 55 balls of wool. 55 balls of Stylecroft I ordered. But I did find a coupon that was 10% knocked off. It says 10% discount for readers of Simply Crochet. I wasn't a reader of Simply Crochet, don't tell anybody. I just found the coupon online. So I'm hiding that bill because my daughter-in-law knew how much I'd spent. They don't understand how much wool costs. Small order for me, what, 55 balls of wool? A lot of our shelves are a bit empty at the moment. It's nothing to do with not having money or anything. It's a lot of the delivery drivers are off, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long I'll have to buy more. That's why I wanted to buy a wool that I could get more of if I needed, so yeah. I just got 10 of the main colour and 5 of all the others. Yeah, I know. A lot of new employees, they think they've got holiday pay, they think they're entitled to sick days, and you think, you've only been here 2 minutes. Yeah. I know when I started working for a job and I hadn't been in work for a few weeks, I had no money. And the job, I had to work a month in hand. Anyway, fortunately, my brother sort of found out. And he just came round with some money and he said, right, just pay me back when you can. Yeah. Hi, Ben, how are you? I used to have that, but my daughter-in-law doesn't believe in that, having a big pantry. I get a bit, well, not worried. I like to have stuff in the house. But she doesn't. She just buys things as she needs it. And I like to have things I can, what I call peck at, you know. Well, I'm supposed to be working on what I've got, Sandra. I'm not supposed to be buying a new yarn. But when your daughter-in-law asks you to make throws for the conservatory all in pastel colours and you don't have pastel colours in your shed, pastel colours are just not something I ever buy. Because I'm not a pastel colour person. If you know me well enough, you know that. always had what I call a store cupboard with tins and everything like that. But my daughter-in-law doesn't. Yeah. They're going away for a week and I'll be looking after Poppy. Not the puppy. The puppy's going somewhere else. So I'll be looking after Poppy. I'll be there in Iceland with all my frozen ready meals. My son said, you can cook, while we're gone. I went, cook? No. No, thank you. Where, ping. That's my idea. I said, just take me to Iceland and I'll get myself a week's worth of food. Yeah, I grew up with rationing. Unless you're in the UK, you won't know what rationing is. But everything was on a ration and you had to have coupons to get even the basic things like, bread and meat and butter and stuff. So my mother brought me up that you always had something in your cupboard for, say, there was a week where you didn't have any money for food, you would always have something in your cupboard that you could scratch a meal with, yeah. And that was the way I always was, yeah. But now I've come here, my daughter-in-law doesn't have the same mentality as me. We have some tins in, we have tins of beans and we have tins of soup and stuff. But I always had tins of everything. I always had tins of salmon, tins of tuna. I always had something that I could make a meal with. But I'm not in charge of the food anymore. I pay me dues, yeah, pay me housekeeping money, but I don't do shopping. Well, I do shopping. I nip out and get some stuff for myself and hide it. Yeah, no, I showed somebody the thing for rations and they said, was that for a day? I went, no, that was a week. Yeah, I always had candles. I think we've only got fancy candles now. I always had candles in because I lived through when there was the 3-day week, if anybody remembers that, if anybody's old enough, where they used to turn the electric off and people were only working 3 days a week. I don't know quite what that was all about. I think it was something to do with the miners' strike. But they used to turn the electric off certain times and, you had to have stuff in. Yeah, I had a big freezer that was full of all sorts of stuff. You remember the 3-day week, yeah. I was very popular on my street when it was a 3-day week because I had a gas cooker at the time. So I was the only person who could actually cook anything. So people were always coming to me saying, can you just pop this in your oven, please? People who had all electric cookers and electric everything. I had a gas fire back then, so at least I could be warm enough in one room. And I had a gas cooker, so I could, at least cook, yeah. Yeah, I was very popular on our street because the lady across the road had 4 or 5 kiddies. And she couldn't cook anything for them because, of course, she had an electric cooker. mean, fortunately, she used to only, warm something up for him. She didn't like come across and start cooking a 3-course meal from her or anything. Yeah, it was really bad back in the 3-day week. Went on for quite a while. Yeah. I don't do Halloween. I never have done. Yeah, it was really scary for people. Because back in the day, I mean, a lot of people were on those iron lung things, because they had polio and things like that. I mean, they had to have generators in the hospitals because otherwise they couldn't do the operations because the lights would all go out and everything. It was a really bad time, that 3-day week. And they didn't win in the end, sadly. They didn't win anything. So it was all in vain, really, all the 3-day week and that. They still closed the pits. You're right, Trish. We'll see you later. Yeah, we used to have really bad weather back in the day. It is a different green, isn't it? I don't think it's a strong enough green contrast to the other green. I think I'm going to choose a different colour. Oh, nearly fell over. I nearly fell off my chair. Right, shall I have that green? Or shall I have blue? Or shall I even have that bright green? I'll have the bright green, I think. Oh, hello, Evie. Hello. Oh, no, it's not Evie, it's Marsha Lee. I always get you mixed up between Blind Stitches, is it? And Blind... No, you're Blind Stitches, she's Blind. Whatever. Anyway, I always get you mixed up, Marsha Lee. Yeah, it's very sad about Dinesh, yeah. Yeah, at least if we lose electric here, we've got the log burning stove. It won't heat the water, but and we've got a gas. I think she means Dina, not Mr. Nisha. I think you mean Dina, don't you? I think it's a slip of the typo. Well, I think so, unless somebody else has gone that I don't know about. Hope not. Bad enough losing one person, isn't it? We don't want to lose any more. I hope not. Inherited stitches, I hope not. One is enough. We don't want to lose anybody else. Everybody else feeling okay? You all feeling fine? I made the mistake of looking up what a colonoscopy was and what they actually did, and I wish I hadn't bothered. Thank you. Virtual hugs back again. Yeah, I wish I hadn't looked what they did with the colonoscopy. I wish I'd have been in ignorance. I should never have looked it up. You've had one, have you? Don't tell me if it was bad, because I'm a wimp. But anything is better than the pain I keep getting in my stomach. No, it's like looking at cataract operations. I wish I hadn't looked at them either. I don't want stitches in my eyeball. I hope they dissolve. I hope they don't have to take them out. Has anybody had cataracts done? Please tell me they dissolve the stitches. I have very tender eyes and I can't do with anything that I feel like there's something in my eye. Yeah. Yeah, mine, they think it's either IBS. Well, I've known I've got IBS. I've had it for many, many years, but my problems have been 10 times worse this last 6 weeks. So they're just having a look, make sure that there is nothing untoward. Well, I was awake for my knee up. For my knee replacement, I was awake. And it was quite eerie, you know. You kept going up the bed because it was going boom, boom, boom. It was like watching somebody doing DIY on your knee. I mean, I wasn't watching it, but he was hammering it, and I could see his hand going up with his hammer and a chisel. And it's just the fact that they put stitches in. I've got this awful feeling they'd be like scratchy. You know, the stitches in your eye might be scratchy. Oh, I like baby new potatoes. New potatoes with loads of butter. I'm not brave at all. I'm bricking it here. I'll do it because I want to know what the results are. I'm not thinking there's anything untoward. I just want to know for sure, if you know what I mean. I'm not a pessimistic kind of person, you know. I tend to think, well, until they tell me there's something wrong, I'll just keep thinking there isn't. I chose the brighter green in the end. It looks blue, that, doesn't it, on camera? But it's not. It's actually a green. Well, I always had my mammograms until I got told that once you get past 70, they don't do them anymore. Well, I'm not a prepper, Shad. I just like to keep a good pantry or whatever. But I wouldn't call myself a prepper. Oh, yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? With some egg and bacon fried up. Ooh. Yeah, they don't do mammograms, which I'm sad about. I would prefer to go and have a mammogram. Yeah, you're right. We've probably got boobs down to our knees, yeah. Yeah, they don't do You know, your smear tests, you call them PAPS tests or whatever in the States, don't you? They don't do them after you're 70. And they don't do breast cancer screens, mammograms anymore, unless you think you've got problems. It's slightly worrying, isn't it? Because how would you know? Yeah. Yeah, I prefer to be tested for things, Kaz. You know, I prefer to have all my tests. I'm slightly worried more because they don't do them anymore past when you're 70, you know. I would prefer to. I don't like having a mammogram. Nobody does, having your boobies squashed. But, oh God, no. I don't go for that, Shad. I just like keeping a good pantry, you know, in case anything happens and you can't get out for a week. You know, like when I had the COVID like 18 months ago. Luckily, I had loads of stuff in my fridge and my freezer that saw me through. Not that I was eating much anyway, but, you know, I was able to go through like 3 weeks without shopping. I always used to ask my mum to make extra potatoes, cabbage and carrots and things on a Sunday. And I used to love my mum making bubble and squeak on a Monday. Oh, I've already had that cancer scare. I had my womb removed when I was 33. So I got that out of the way, over and done. Yeah, my mum was a brilliant cook at turning nothing into something, if you know what I mean. She could always put something on the table. You know, she was good at that. She was good at spinning a penny round, yeah. Yeah, it makes me smile when I see some people who say, oh God, I've got nothing. I've got nothing in the house, got nothing this. And I'm like, you've got potatoes, you've got onions, you can make something. You know, what do you mean just because you can't put... Bubble and squeak is leftover mashed potatoes and any kind of vegetables that you get left. And what you do is you mash them all together and then you put them in the frying pan and you brown it on both sides, and that makes bubble and squeak. Yeah, people just, you know, don't know how to spin a penny round. You know, they don't know how to get minced beef, or you call it ground beef, you know, and turn it into something like a shepherd's pie. You know, you can spread a bit of mince around, feed your family with a load of potatoes and onions and stuff. Potatoes are cheap enough, for goodness sakes, yeah. But just because they can't afford McDonald's or they can't afford chops and chicken and stuff, they say, oh, I haven't got any money, I haven't got... You know, they should live through the depression, they should live through the rationing. You know, I love to get that, you know, really cheap bacon, you know, like the really cheap stuff, and then layer it with potatoes and onions and put a bit of white sauce on and make a bacon casserole, you know. There's all sorts of things you can do that are really cheap, like sausages are cheap. Unless you get fancy dancy ones, yeah. You could make sausages, you know, sausage and mash. What's wrong with that? You know, I can't understand when people say, oh, I haven't got this, I haven't got that, I can't feed my family. Of course you can. Just too lazy. Too lazy to cook something. I mean, flipping egg and chips. You know. And I don't mean crisps if you're in America. I mean proper French fried chips that you cook yourself. Yeah, fried egg and chips or beans on toast. There's always all sorts of things that you can make. Egg on toast. If you buy, baked potato. There's all kinds of things that you can do. I cannot understand when people say, I am poor, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. And I'm like, sorry, but you've got like a 50-something inch screen TV on your wall. You can afford cigarettes, which anybody in their right mind can afford cigarettes these days. Cans of beer and stuff. They think they're poor because they can't afford to go to McDonald's for their kids. No, you're not poor at all. Yeah, exactly. You can stick all sorts in a crock pot, can't you? Cheapest cuts of meat and put them on slow cooking. No, I can't say I've never smoked. I did try when I was about 17 because all my friends were smokers and I thought it was sophisticated, but fortunately I couldn't. I couldn't smoke. Every time I tried to smoke, my eyes ran, and it was the era where you all wore the very heavy black makeup, and it wasn't very sophisticated to look like Alice Cooper with it all running down your face. So I never really got into smoking. To be honest with you, I didn't like it anyway. No, I'm just thankful I never got into smoking, Nathan. Just thankful. Yeah, loaded baked potato. Yeah, I love a baked potato with cheese or something. I think they're about £10. I've never smoked really, so I don't know. But I mean, if you smoked a pack a day, that's like £70 a week. No wonder you can't afford food. Mm. My mum used to get a bigger joint of meat on a Sunday, and she would make that meat last a couple of days at least, probably 3. Slice it and add it with chips one day, and then she would make yeah. I love shepherd's pie made with leftover meat, minced up rather than, minced meat that's raw. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fortunate, really. I've never smoked because I don't think I could afford it. I could have never afforded to spend £70 a week on cigarettes. Must be a dreadful habit to be in, I mean, I've never had to give up anything like that because it must be hard to give it up, yeah. My ex-husband gave up purely because when he was about 24 or 5, I think, my son was only small, he'd gone to work, and then about a quarter of an hour later, this bloke fetched him home in a car. And apparently he'd run for the bus and he just collapsed. He couldn't get his breath or anything like that. And he came back in and he said, that's it, that's it. And he put his cigarettes and his lighter on top of we had a mantelpiece in those days, the old-fashioned fireplace. Put them on top of there. He said, that's it. I'm not, if that's what it does to me, I am not smoking anymore. And he never did. Yeah, he never did. He liked an odd cigarillo, do they call them little tiny cigars, like the Hamlet things. He used to like one of those every now and again when he went out, for a drink. He used to just buy one from the bar, yeah. That was his only vice, but he only had about one a week, so. And I don't think he does that now. So, yeah, it just scared him rigid. He was about 25, something like that, when he gave it up. He came round yesterday. I had to laugh because he was always on about me, about my weight. I was fat, I was this, I was that, I was too heavy, why was I this, why was I that? He is fat. And so is his missus, she's fat too. I was like, yes. All the times he called me, said I was overweight when I was size 10. I was like so glad when I saw him. My ex-husband came round, the one who gave me grief all my married life, telling me I was fat and overweight, and he's so fat. I looked at him, I thought, and I didn't say anything, but I felt like saying, my God, you're fat. Because he used to say that to me. He used to tell me how fat I was. I was dying to say it, but I thought, no, I won't. I'm not mean. I could lose about 10 stone and not miss it. I have lost 43 pounds I've lost in the last 18 months. Intentionally, by the way, yeah. I used to make Chinese, like fried rice. I used to love that. I used to put prawns in it and all sorts. Prawns and chicken. Make like a stir fry. It was abuse, you're right there. But it wasn't recognised by anybody else, yeah. Yeah, I was like thinking to myself when I saw him, like, yes. Yes, you fat so-and-so. He had a massive big belly. And his wife was fat as well. I'm like, I thought, try telling her she's fat. She's fatter than I ever was. Perhaps he's gotten complacent in his old age. He never said. Actually, it was just like hello, goodbye, because I stayed out of his way. My son took him out for a meal, so I just stayed out of the way. I stayed in the lounge with the door shut. He just came in to say hello, goodbye. That was it. We never had a conversation, which suited me fine, because I'd already told my son I didn't want to be involved. Because he said to me, what we're doing for dinner and that. I said, you go out for your dinner. You take your dad out for your dinner. Leave me alone. I'm fine. I didn't want to go with him. To the heck. I stayed in with Poppy. Me and my best girl. She's my best friend, is my Poppy. I'll be heartbroken if anything happens to her. I mean, she's getting older now. don't know what time it is. Oh, I've got a clock there. Hello, Poppy. Hello, sweetie. What are you doing? She came in and then she went out again. She didn't stay. I'll go and close the door. Oh. Yeah, I think my sweater's a bit big for me now. Never mind. Oh, Poppy's putting up with Rosie, poor soul. She gets tormented. Rosie won't leave her alone. She keeps biting at her mouth and jumping all over her. But Poppy's tolerating it quite well. But she does like sigh a sigh of relief when they go out, Rosie, and leave her at home with me. Because I make a big fuss. Luckily, I don't mind baggy things because all my clothes are baggy now. I bought all my clothes when I was a couple of sizes larger. But I've got such a big wardrobe, I'm not getting rid of them. I'll just wear them big. Mine wearing things bigger is better than wearing things too tight. There's nothing worse than a woman squashing herself in squashing herself in something and looking like she's a sausage bulging out of its skin. That is not a flattering look. And it's always women with big bellies that do that. Why do women with big bellies always want to wear a straight skirt? I'm like, no, wear an A-line skirt. Wear something that makes you look, and don't wear a crop top when you've got a big muffin top hanging over the top. It's not a good look, dear. I never wear tight things. Well, not intentionally anyway. I did used to wear some tight things. The bottom of my mug says, today is the first day. And then at the bottom it says, of the rest of the miserable week or something. I have to drain it. Of the rest of the miserable week. It's the first day of the rest of it. I still make things big, though. I make them as if I'm making them. I looked in the shed the other day at what I've got made up, ready to sell, and they're all quite large. I must have made them like me size. I've got nothing that's, like small size. That's probably why I sell so much of my things to the people in America. Sorry, people in America. But you do tend to be a bit larger than the people in the US. In the UK, sorry. That is one thing that my tummy hasn't shrunk. You always get the mummy pouch, don't you, no matter how much weight you lose. I mean, I lost so much weight one time I was anorexic and I still had a mummy pouch. You would write bite. Oh, I finished the sweater I was making, that cardigan. Apart from the pockets, I haven't sewn the pockets on. Well, hello, Miguel. Where have you been? And we don't know where Chris is. Yeah. We're missing Chris. I don't know where Chris is. Do you know where he is, Miguel? Oh gosh, I've just pulled a stitch. Oh. Oh. There's the pockets. Oh, they look completely different colours in this light. Those are the pockets, anyway. I don't know why they look. That is green, not blue. Why does it look so different? Those are the pockets I've not stitched on. And this is the jacket. The pockets I've not stitched on. And this is the jacket. It's for Sue, but she won't see it because she doesn't look at my lives. So that's for her. She doesn't know I've made it. She's seen one I've made in similar colours. This is not the exact same colours, but that's what I made. So I've got to sew the pockets on. What I miss is a table. I haven't got a table. Did I see what you said in Heritage Stitches? No, I didn't. Hang on, let me have a look back. I think I was showing you Sue's sweater, weren't I? Oh, I prevented you from buying furls, yeah. It's not for me, Seaside Mum. It's for Sue, but she doesn't watch me lives. Oh, I've got a bit of news about Sue. She's going to be a great-grandma in January. Her eldest granddaughter's expecting. She said she really feels old now. I said, I hate to say this, but I've got 7 great-grandchildren. I think it's 7. It's either 7 or 9. I can't remember. Yeah, somebody said they thought Chris was house sitting. So I don't know whether that's true or not. Oh, hello, my connection's gone unstable again. Sorry, folks, here we go again. We could be buffering again. I had to start this again, Miguel, because I was buffering so much on the first one. Oh, I found all my flowers in the shed. Found all my flowers. If you remember, I was going to put them on my decking. I'm thinking of making like a curtain, like sewing all the flowers in long strips to make sort of like a, like a fly screen curtain, but flowers. Does that sound okay? For the shed. Yeah. My first video was dedicated to Dina, but I had to start another video, Miguel, so that's why the second one isn't. And now it's buffering again, so I'm sorry, people. Sue's just turned 60. She's a lot younger than I am, yeah. She's just had her 60th birthday, Sue. So she won't be that old for being a great-grandma, yeah. Yeah, I did, Miguel, but then it went all buffering, and I'm having trouble with my internet connection today, Miguel, so I had to go out and come back in again, so I never thought, I was too busy trying to get back in the second time. No, I haven't started on my other drink yet. No, I'm still on the coffee. Yeah, she's just 60. I know she's a lot younger than I am, yeah. But having said that, we get on really, really well, yeah. We always have done. You know, I've known her now for about... Well, we worked out, because when I said to her, I said, "Your Meg's having a baby." And she goes, "Our Meg's 20, nearly 21. And I went, "Oh," because I've known her for such a long time. You forget, you know, that time goes by. I was thinking she was like a teenager, and I'm thinking, oh, she's having a baby and she's a teenager. But, you know, it's like Sue says, no, she's getting on for 21 now, you know. Yeah, I was telling everybody, a lot of people on here didn't know Miguel, because they only sort of know Dina from, you know, coming on here. I mean, I didn't know her all that well, as you know. But I knew her from coming on here and, you know, chatting to us all while she was on here. Yeah, it's such a terrible shame, but, you know, if she was going to be so poorly, you know, it may... I know you should never say it's for the best, should you? But if she was going to be really, really poorly, if she'd have come out of it, you wouldn't wish that on anybody, would you, really? Yeah. Yeah, she must have been married young, because her daughter's 40, I think. It was a daughter that was married very young. I think her daughter's 40, so she would have been 20 when she had her daughter. I've made quite a few things with 100% cotton, but you've got to realise that sometimes they go bigger, you know, cotton. You have to be careful. They don't stretch when you're washing them. You know, they tend to, unless you've got a very tight tension, they tend to grow a bit with washing, because they're quite heavy. Cotton's quite heavy. I've made summer tops with cotton, but I've not actually made a sweater with sleeves really in cotton. Long sleeves anyway. But they're nice for summer tops, yeah. Sleeveless or short sleeve tops are nice in cotton. Cotton will shrink if you stick it in the dryer. You know, but yeah, cotton blends are nice. I used to like one, well, they probably still make it, was called Cotton On in the UK. And I think it was 50% cotton and 50% acrylic, and that used to wash like a dream. I haven't done the dishes. It was my turn to do the dishes, but I fell asleep. And then I woke up and I'm like, oh, nearly time for live. I nearly put makeup on and do my hair. I need to take my photograph tomorrow. I've got to reapply for my disabled parking badge. You can do it all online, but you have to... My son managed to sort out my printer. I don't think it's going to print, but I think it'll be all right if we're doing a scan. I think I've got to scan my birth certificate and scan my letter from the DLA. You're cleaning the filter, Joe. Oh yeah, you know, we do know how to live here on a Saturday, don't we? Yeah, pure cotton can be rather heavy. That's why I'm a bit hesitant about using it for a long sleeve sweater. Oh, that's awful, Shad. Somebody spray painted your house. I thought that homophobia went out with the ark. Or maybe it still exists in some part. You still get some ignorant people that are homophobic. I mean, people are a lot more tolerant than they used to be, but that's not saying that everybody is. There's still some ignorant people, sadly, Shad. Has nobody got any security cameras, or were they wearing masks or something? That's it, they're probably wearing balaclavas and masks because they're too wimp to let you know who they are. Yeah, I used to love going to the Manchester Pride, but I think it got cancelled this year. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. I used to love the parade, it was fantastic. I don't understand it myself. We're not in the dark ages. I know you get the Bible thumpers, don't you, that say it's wrong, it's not in the Bible, blah, blah, blah. It's how you interpret things in the Bible, is my guess. People interpret things one way and other people interpret things another way. I don't subscribe to it. People are people to me. I have no such problems. People are who they are. I always say, as long as they don't want to convert me, I have got no problem. Yeah, it is. It's a hate crime. It's a hate crime and it's vandalism. It's a shame nobody had cameras, Shad. I always think it's nobody else's business what you are or what you do in your private life. As long as it doesn't encroach on anybody else's lives, does it matter? No. Yeah, it will be, unfortunately. There is some special stuff you can buy, though, isn't there? If you look online, that gets graffiti off. I know that, the council have to use it, don't they, to get rid of graffiti. Oh, gosh. What on earth was that? My phone? Who's sending me a message at this time of the damn night? I'll have to have a look. I'm nosy. Oh. It's from my old street. Whose dog is that barking? Well, it's not mine because I'm over in Fleetwood now. So it ain't my dog barking. Oh, that would be a conversation to have, yeah. Now I've got another message from June. My friend saying she's not sure she made the right decision moving down here from Scotland. But it's too late now. She can't go back. Yeah, I'm sure you can buy some special stuff, though. If you look it up online, Shad, for getting graffiti off. Yeah, it's a bit of a sort of a hard thing to explain to any child, let alone explain to G. Yeah. I'm sure you can get some friends to help you to scrub it off with some special stuff. If you look up how to remove graffiti off brickwork, I mean, the council do it all the time. Sadly, you know, where I used to live, all the houses are brick and people were always, oh God, what's going on? My phone, it doesn't make a peep, and then at midnight, near enough, it starts making peeps. Tomorrow's forecast, scattered showers. Oh, I hope not, because the plasterer's supposed to be coming. Stop making noises now, phone. I don't wish to know about somebody's dog barking. Over in Presswich. Over in Presswich. Oh, night, Rebecca. I think it would be difficult for anybody, you know. It's whether they're going to be happy when they have transition. That's what worries me. Because I know a lot of people that have transitioned and they're no happier than what they were in the first place. They think that when they do transition, it's like going to be the be all and the end all, and they're going to be, you know, fantastically happy. And sadly, I mean, where I used to work at the job centre, I used to have a lot of transsexuals, trans whatever they call them, yeah. And there were a lot of them were very unhappy people. You know, it's sad to say that they go through all of that and then they're no happier. You know, the incidence of suicide amongst people who transition is very, very high. I mean, it's one thing to transition when you're a grown person, but what am I making? My daughter-in-law has requested that I make throws for the, you know how I feel about the blankets, but granny square throws to cover the sofas in the conservatory. So I've made 10 of that colour, and I'm now in the process of making that colour, which will have pink around the edge. Yeah, sadly, I think whatever makes them happy, Sean, but as I say, I think it is in the heads, and it doesn't always make them happy when they do it. They put such a great store of, I'm going to be fantastically happy when I become a woman, and sadly, it doesn't seem to work that way. No, I just wish it would make them happier, Nathan, when they do it, and a lot of people it doesn't. I saw so many people, in my job that were really bitterly unhappy after they'd done the transition. I crochet them together when I've done them. I have to sew the ends in, don't I? I can't crochet over ends like some people do. I have to darn all the ends in to make sure they don't come undone. But I do crochet all my squares together when they finally get enough. But I do crochet them in tens, like I do them like that, each colour at a time. I'll do 10, like with the centre, then 10 of them, then 10 of them. And then I'm doing this green colour next, and then I'll finish up with the pink. I can't be doing one square at a time, keep changing colours. I mean, I'm going to just have a... Yeah, but I just wish that they would be happy, Sean, when they've done it. That's my problem, is that so many people are not happy when they've done it. That's what worries me. Because I saw a lot of the very, very unhappy people when I was in my other job. They're all so excited. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. And then when they do get their up, they're not. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, Nathan, that it is who they are. But, I'm going to need an awful lot of squares. You're right there, Miguel. But, sadly, it doesn't always make them happy. Even though they think that's what they want to do. I think it's something that they should think a lot longer and a lot harder about, because once they do it and they can't go back, yeah. I crochet them together, yeah. Not solidly. I crochet them together with like, well, you would call it a single crochet in America. Single crochet into the big hole. And then I do like 3 chain, and then I do that. Well, it's a single crochet to me. I don't know what it is to you in America. Don't forget I crochet British. Hello, Barbara. Hi to you from Brisbane. I will never be American with my crochet stitches. I'm 75 and a treble is a treble now. Our treble is your double, and our double is your single, and very confusing. That's why I prefer to use the vintage patterns. Vintage patterns, English ones, use English terminology, and I'm happy. I get fed up with having to convert me double crochets into me trebles, and I will never be able to think American. It's all right for people who've learned. I mean, like Kelly, for example, she learned to crochet with Americanisms, so she understands. But me, no. A treble will be a treble until I die. Yeah. Hello, Daniel. Hi there, honey. How are you? Daniel is in the house. Say hello to Daniel. Oh, Sue's a whiz with those Japanese patterns. I can't understand those symbols, can I, the Dickens? Oh, it's bad enough with drops. But have you ever tried crocheting a drops pattern? That sets your mind a boggle, I tell you. If you've never tried to do a drops pattern, you've never lived. Sue's a whiz at those, those Japanese chart things. She's a whiz at them. And she goes to me, the dead easy, Jan, the dead easy. And I'm like, no, they're not. Not when you're my age and you've been using UK symbols all your life. No, it's not easy. I stick to what I know. I'm getting old. I'll admit it. And how are you tonight, Daniel? Are you doing okay, love? I'm making granny squares for the throes of which I'll probably be making for about the next 12 months. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I've got cataracts on both eyes, but apart from that, I'm fine. Can't see a damn thing. I can see to crochet, I just can't see anybody across the road, yeah. Paul plays Daniel, yes, that's right, you're right there. Everybody say hello to Daniel. Yeah, Daniel, our beautiful hand dyer. You've got the IQ for right banana. You're not on your own there. I think my IQ's plunged. I used to be pretty sharp. I used to look at patterns and go, oh, and be able to crochet them. And people used to say to me, oh, you're so good at that. You're so good at working things out. And people used to come in the shop when I had one and say they couldn't do this pattern. They couldn't understand what the knitting thing was and what the crochet thing was. And I was like, what's wrong with them, And I used to just pick it up. And now I'm the one who's like, what? What's that? I don't understand. Huh? Oh, you want to see some yarn that I've got? It looked gorgeous in the hank. It's not yours, by the way, Daniel. It's some I've inherited from years back. It looked gorgeous when it was in the hank. All lovely, bright colours. And then when I started to crochet it up, it's awful. Awful. Might look good in socks, but I don't want to make any socks. What's my opinion of polymer handles? Don't like them. Sorry. I don't like thick, fat handles and stuff. Well, hello, John. How are you today? It was so sad. It was so lovely when it was in the hank. It was like yellow, then it was green, and then it was red. And I'm so disappointed with it. Horrible, isn't it? Where did I get it from? I don't know. I had the label on my table for ages, but I think it's got lost. Oh, I don't think I've got the label anymore. No, I haven't got the label anymore. I must have thrown it out. Ah. But it's sad because it looks so nice in there. Why are you shouting inherited? Turn your caps off. Turn your capital letters off, please. Inherited. No, I don't like polymer handles. I don't like anything that's got fat handles. It would look better knitted, but you know how I feel about knitting, Nathan. And I paid about £20 for the ball, so I don't really feel like making a pair of socks for 20 quid, you know. Because I don't wear socks anyways, you know. Maybe a pair of gloves in the winter. Maybe I might knit a pair of them. I saw it because 24 Karat Crochet bought one. And I thought, oh, that looks so gorgeous. And it did in the hank. It looked beautiful in the hank. And then when what it is the colour transitions are too short. Hi, Ethan. You know, the colour transitions, they should be like longer. Yeah. Well, they should be for crochet, and they might be okay for knitting. I don't know how I hold mine. How do I hold mine? Is it like a knife? Is it like a whatever? I don't know. How do I hold it? I just hold it and I don't argue with anybody, whichever ways. I would never tell anybody they're holding the hook wrong. I think people who do that, you know, are being very opinionated. I don't wash them, Shad. It's the egg. You don't eat the eggshell, do you? Yeah, I don't wear. I've got about 12 pairs of knitted socks and I don't wear any of them. My feet are never that cold. I never have cold feet. Well, I do sometimes in bed, and I'm not. Exactly. I would never criticise anybody what hook they use, what method they use. I think it's all a load of baloney. If I knew what was right to sell blind stitches, I would tell you, but I never have got it right. I've been starting a crochet business. I've been doing it for 10, 12 years, and I've still never got it off the ground. It's still never been a business. It's only ever been a hobby. So I wish I knew what was the right thing to crochet to sell. Other people seem to get it right, but I never do. You know, people in America say things like washcloths and that. People in the UK just don't buy them. You know, towel holders. No, they don't buy towel holders over here. There's a lot of things in that sell in America that just wouldn't sell in the UK. I've tried baby things. I've tried all sorts of things. I love making baby outfits, but they just didn't sell. Maybe I got the colours wrong. Maybe I didn't get the style right. I don't know. I wish there was an answer to it. I wish I could afford to do that, Shad, but when you spent, what, 20 odd pound on making a cardigan, 30 quid on making a cardigan, I can't afford to give it all away. Yeah, you see, they may sell in America, but You know, the Christmas tree skirts wouldn't sell over here. Now they would dishcloths, scarves and hats, mittens maybe. But I don't know. I've never got it right, so I'm a poor one to ask. I see people selling things online for hundreds of dollars, and I think, why? When I can't sell mine, so. I think it's a question of when you get an in, or you get a no, or you get whatever, you know, if somebody you know that likes you and then they do it. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough, Shad, but I did it to try and not so much now because I don't want to do it anymore now, but I need to sell what I've already got. I'm not donating it. I'm sorry, but I paid a lot of good money for the wool that I made those things with, and I'm not going to donate them to somebody who wouldn't appreciate them anyway. You know, I'd rather bin the things than do that. And people want to give you £5 for a cardigan that costs you £25, £30 to make it now. And I'm not going to give it away because then people don't value it. If I was making little things like hats, scarves, mittens, I would give them away. I have done that in the past. I've given a lot away to the homeless. Yeah, I hardly ever sold any of my baby things blind stitches. Hardly ever. People said, oh, they're beautiful. Oh, they're lovely. Oh, they're gorgeous. Didn't sell. Didn't sell. I don't know whether the colours were wrong, the styles were wrong. I don't know what was wrong. I got disheartened. I'm very disheartened now, but I need to get rid of all what I've already got. And I am not giving them away. Sorry, I know that, mates, but no. I gave a load of charity. My own stuff that I'd been wearing, I gave piles and piles away of that when I moved. It probably finished up in a charity shop for a £5 or something. Heartbreaking. Makes me not want to make things anymore when I see things like that. Or when I've given somebody a shawl and they go, oh, that's nice. You know, they're never going to wear it. They don't like it. They see, why have I bothered? Why have I bothered? Now, you see, that's something that wouldn't sell over here, Miguel. Nobody would buy a pumpkin over here because we don't celebrate Halloween the same way. It's a different set of things. Once you get an in, or once you get an audience, once you get a market, that's fine, but I've never, ever been able to find that market. I did do when I was younger. I used to crochet for a boutique. But sadly, I'm in the wrong area. My niece said if I lived in Brighton, there's shops all over the place that sell crochet stuff for like loads of money and stuff. And I just got a message on my Instagram saying designer crochet is in all these catwalk shows, selling things for hundreds of dollars. And yeah. But you see, it's got a label, hasn't it? No. You see, we're different here in England, Miguel. We don't decorate. We decorate for Christmas. That's about it. We don't decorate for Easter, Halloween, whatever. No. We don't do that sort of thing, yeah. I'm not saying they weren't nice, Miguel. They probably were, but they wouldn't sell over here. My friend keeps telling me, oh, if only you were in America, you'd sell this and that and the other. No trouble. You've got a market, Miguel. People see your things. Nearly all of my sales were in America. But the thing is, the postage had killed it for me. You know, having to charge people 20 quid postage, you know, because people in America don't understand how much the postage is over here. Yeah, I very rarely sold anything in England. Very, very rare. My stuff went all over the world. But I stopped doing it when I started getting orders and people started getting picky with me. You know, they wanted this and they wanted that and they wanted the other. And I thought, oh, no, I'm not into this. As you say, Americans decorate for fall. We don't in England. I'm sure Charlotte will back me up on that. We do not decorate for fall and put pumpkins and stuff in the windows and stuff. Yeah, American can send all sorts to each other. And the thing is, I can't compete when I'm having to charge for the garment, and then my garment probably is very comparably priced to other people in America. But when I have to stick an extra 20 or even £25 on for posting, you just lose the sale because people say, why is it so expensive, the post? Sean, do you get me right or wrong? Do people decorate for any other season besides Christmas? I don't know anybody who does. No, I don't anymore, Shad. I used to do it because I needed the money. I'll be quite frank. No, I thought they didn't. No, I thought I wasn't wrong. Americans decorate for everything, don't they? But we don't, do we? If I was to make pumpkins in England, do you think they would sell, Shad? I don't think they would. No, I needed it. I needed the extra income when I used to do it. No, we don't, do we? We don't, Kaz. This is what I keep trying to say to people in America. They don't understand that we don't go overboard. For decorating. Christmas, get a tree up. But that's about it. Oh, yeah, I'm just saying. You can sell things that I couldn't even sell. I couldn't sell dishcloths for, washcloths or whatever. I couldn't sell them. People don't like them over here. People don't use them. No, that's come across. The lights outside's come across from the States, hasn't it? I used to use the washcloths because I used to put them in the washing machine and boil them. But unless I can boil a cotton dishcloth, I'm not interested because I don't want germs. I'd rather have something that I can throw. Do I grow pumpkins in the UK? Probably, because they do appear in the shops, but people don't cook with them. They just get carved up and stuck on a doorstep sometimes at Halloween. And I think Starbucks does pumpkin spice or something. Would I cross for a Christmas tree? No, what the heck? I crocheted some little ornaments once to go on a Christmas tree. But that wasn't for me, that was for in the pub, yeah. Yeah, we don't make pumpkin pie or out like that. Pumpkin soup and pumpkin, we just stick them on a doorstep and let them rot. And then we throw them away. Well, most people in the UK don't have hens unless you have a farm. We're not allowed to keep hens in most urban places. You're not allowed to keep them in your garden. It actually says it on the deeds to my house here that you're not allowed to keep hens. You're not allowed to keep livestock of any description in your garden. It's against the council ruling. We have such different laws over here in England. What you can and you can't do. Yours only prohibits horses. Mine prohibits any kind of livestock, apart from dogs and cats, that is. Yeah, you can't have hens. I think pet rabbits maybe, but you're not allowed to make a business out of them or something. Well, at least you'd be feeding the deer, wouldn't you, Seaside Mum? I think the seagulls would probably eat them around here. If I put a pumpkin out on the doorstep. Ali's got chicken. Oh, she must be all right where she lives then. I know we couldn't do it around here. She must live in an area where they allow them to put chickens. I haven't watched any of her videos for a while, actually. I haven't watched anybody's videos for a while. Oh, I'm buffering again. Right. You can't keep livestock, and not in certain areas. You can't around here. I don't know what it's like in Ireland, but you can't. You can't keep chickens and stuff like that. If I lived in the country, I probably would be able to keep chickens, but I don't. I live in a town. Right, raspberry. What's that one? That one's a green one. I don't know what that is. That says it's raspberry mojito. This one's just mojito. Can't read it. Can't read what it contains, so I don't know what it is. No, we can't have backyard chickens. Can't have anything like that. I've lost my magnifying glass, so I can't read what's in. I have a magnifying glass somewhere. Oh, there it is. I want to see what's in my drink before I open it. That one says it's a raspberry mojito. But I have to see what this one is. A sparkling mojito flavoured mixed drink with fermented alcohol and white rum with sugar and sweetener. Oh. This one's raspberry. This one says a sparkling raspberry mojito flavoured mixed drink with fermented alcohol and white rum. I think they waved the rum over it. I need a magnifying glass, yeah, you're right. This is supposed to be a map reading one, but it's just small enough to go in the drawer. I had a big one somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I think it's one of those things that didn't quite make it. A lot of my stuff hasn't quite made it. I don't know where it went, but it hasn't quite made it. I'll try the ordinary mojito and I'll save raspberry one till tomorrow. Oh, Miguel would like a goat. No, we can't have goats or anything like that around here. Can't have sheep. Next door's got pet rabbits, but that's not the same thing, is it? He's not breeding them or anything. He's just got pet rabbits. Oh. Oh dear. It's not raining here, thank you. Oh, that tastes a bit weird. She was crazy like a goat. I think our two are settled down for the night now. They go up to bed and then that's it. Don't see them again until, well, whenever I get up. I hear them sometimes in the morning, but I'm knackered tonight because I didn't get any sleep last night. So I'll hopefully buy them anywhere. The magnetic clips, and they're made of plastic and they're just rubbish. They keep breaking. I broke 2 since I've been here. But luckily my son had a spare one, but he doesn't have any more spare ones now. You cleaning out the casino? What, with a mop and bucket, or you mean money-wise? Yeah, I'm on my last colour now. At least I'll have made 10 squares before I go to bed tonight. I'm not a very fast crocheter anymore. I used to crochet really quickly, but now my arm starts to hurt, my wrist starts to ache, and I can't do it anymore like I used to. I used to sit crochet for hours and hours and hours at a time. But now, can't do it. I used to think nothing about getting up in the morning and crocheting all day long. Oh, money-wise, oh good, well don't spend it all at once. Put it in the bank for a rainy day. Don't give it all back to them. I don't know how many squares I'm going to make. I'll have to make some, spread them across the sofa, and then decide how many I need to make. If I think about it now, Miguel, it'll probably scare me. Because I've got to make a 3-seater settee, a 2-seater settee, and a chair. So it's going to take me a long time. I'll probably do other things in between. I can't see me just doing granny square, granny square, granny square for the next 18 months without getting bored out of my tree. Yeah, go home when you're ahead. Don't give it them back again. If you're winning, go home. Never mind you have a system. Go home while you're winning. Right, I've done all the colours. Right, so I'm going to be doing 10 that colour. And I've already done 10 that colour. Why is that one smaller? Oh, I must have missed colour out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, dummy. I need to pull it back. I need to take that pink back. Because pink's got to be the outside colour. Oh, I hope I don't have to cover the whole chair. What, a 3-seater sofa, a 2-seater sofa and a chair? No, it's not the same size, Miguel. I've missed a colour out. I'm going to have to pull this pink back because pink's the final. Yeah, but you still just don't get cocky, John. Put it in your pocket and make sure you're only gambling with a certain amount of money and not all of it. Because you know the house always wins. Right, I've got to take this pink back. Luckily, I hadn't... I don't know why I thought 5 colours were enough. But obviously 5 colours is not enough. I'm a colour missing. Right, take back the pink. Luckily, this is the first square of 10, otherwise I'd have had to make 10s. Take 10 squares back. I've only got to take 1 square. But only back 1 colour. Why can I not undo that? Oh, so stuff it. I'm going to snip it. It'll be wasted wool anyway. So I'm going to snip it. It's annoying me. Yeah, we worry about you, John. We do worry about you. We don't want you losing all your pennies. You know, save them up and put them on one side. Go on holiday or something. Oh, hi, Melly. You know, you could go on a lovely holiday if you keep winning. Just don't keep giving it back to them. Right, I've got to take this pink back now and find another colour. All right, bye, Seaside Mum. We'll see you next week, yeah. Yeah, once I decide what colour I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to snip that. Oh, I've only had 1 drink of that alcohol and I've gone, oh. Oh, you made it back, Denise, right? Thank you. Hello. Right, that's the pink taken out. Now I've got to find another colour to go in. Gosh, I've gone really hot. What colour? I don't know. I'm just going to have a look what colour next. I'm thinking maybe blue, maybe pale blue. Oh, I've gone really hot. Have I gone red? I have. I've only had 1 sip of that drink. I'm not used to alcohol. You fell asleep, Granny D. I fell asleep, nearly missed coming on here. You won't walk away with the casino, John. Walk away with what you've got. Don't get cocky. Right. Oh, God, I'm sweating cobs here. Right, I'm looking what colours I've got to play with and what colours I've got to put in. Oh, blimey. I think maybe blue. I haven't got blue. Maybe I'll put blue in. Oh boy, I'm so hot. I'm trying to mix up the colours in the squares because I don't want all the squares to be exactly the same colours. Because that would be boring, wouldn't it? Having every square the same. But it would be boring for me to crochet, let's just say. Oh, oh boy, this is terrible. I'm having a hot flush. The alcohol percentage is very small, actually, Sandra. Very, very small indeed. 4%. And yet it's gone to my head. I'm just not used to. This is 4%, that's all it is. Alcohol, 4%, it says it there. Where the alcohol, if you can read it, 4%. Yeah, it could be the sugars that's in it that's sending me hot. Might help me sleep. I don't know, I'm not very good with alcohol late at night. Yeah, I'm drinking. My daughter-in-law bought it me. She said you can drink that on your live. But I'm not used to drinking alcohol, so it's... No, I'm just going to do some granny squares and then I want to work out how many I'm actually going to need, which might put me off. Oh, I can't drink coffee, otherwise I never sleep. We don't have that caffeine-free stuff, whatever it is. We don't have any of that. Oh, blimey. No, I can go to sleep with the drink when I do have a drink, which is not very often. But then I wake up about 2 or 3 in the morning, yeah. It wakes me up again. Oh boy, I'm so hot. Oh, blimey. Oh God, I'm going to take my sweater off. Guinness, oh, I can't drink Guinness. Well, it does help if you don't take your top off as well, doesn't it? I nearly took my t-shirt off as well. Oh, I can't get out of it fast enough. Oh. Oh, I can't get out. I'll have to stand up to get out my sweater. Oh. Oh boy. Oh, I couldn't get out my sweater fast enough then. Oh, blimey. I know, I'm sweating, absolutely sweating, John. I've only had about 4 sips out of it. And I've got a hot sweat come on. I'm not used to alcohol, I really am not. It's good if it's not the hard stuff, innit? I would never be able to cope. My hands are so hot now, even my wool's squeaking. Oh, blimey. No, I'm all right now. I've took my sweater off. I was just boiling over. I couldn't cope with my sweater on. Now I've decided to do blue, the colour I had missing. And then I'll go around the edge with... I haven't got any water near me, no. It's in the kitchen. And I've got... The kitchen's the other side of the wall there, but I have to go all the way around. I know I've gone red. I'm boiling over. May a lot of that's be suntan. I wake up wriggling wet through. I'll be fine, Jeannie, I'll be fine. Yeah, I decided to add blue. Then I'll put pink around the outside. Well, I'll have a drink of water anyway because I have to take my tablets before I go to bed. Oh, God, I just don't know what happened. It just came, ooh. I haven't had a hot sweat for years. Past that age group now. Oh, excuse me. It's 12:30 anyway. I'm not going to stay on much longer because I didn't have any sleep at all last night, so I'm really, really tired. Oh. Oh. Now, I took my temperature today, 35. It was so low. You're supposed to be about 37 or 38, aren't you? 35 my temperature was. According to that, I had, what do you call it? Not frostbite, but hypothermia. When I looked it up, I had hypothermia. But even when I'm healthy, my temperature's only ever 37, even when I'm healthy. 36 or 37. Oh, God, who's texting me? It does this when I get in bed and it really annoys me. Oh, it's somebody apologising for the dog barking. To explain whose dog was barking on my old street. It's a mouth thermometer. I stuck it in my mouth. And it was 35. Ooh. Oh, I'm cooling down now. It just came over me like a big wave of heat. I've not had that since I was in my 30s. Don't forget I went through menopause a lot earlier than other people. When you have your hysterectomy when you're 33, it's... I need a new battery for my camera. You know, the remote control, so you can take photographs when you're away from the camera. My son keeps saying, I've got some, I've got some. Yeah, I did dedicate the first video. I had to restart to Dina. But I got buffering and everything, and I had to go. So when I restarted it, I forgot to put it on. Oh, I'll put the pink on, and then I know what this is going to look like. This square. And then when I put this pink on, then I'm going to go to bed because I'm so tired. And hope that I've mended my CPAP mask. Hope I've mended it. Hope it lasts. I get a new one on the 1st of September, but that's a whole week away. Right, Kaz, we'll see you next week here. I'm going to be going shortly, yeah. Summer halls have flown back. We were supposed to be having a heat wave, and now they've cancelled it. Said, no, we're not having one now. Yeah, that'll be the last colour. I put blue. So I've got that colour squares. I'll have 10 of those, and I've got 10 of these already made up. So I want pink around the outside of all of them so that they'll all link up together. I don't mind what colours I put in the middle, but I like all the outsides to be the same colour, so I've got a theme going on. Right, I'm going to go now because I'm getting hot and flustered and flushed and ooh. Yeah, I've probably got to make about 1 million of them. Granny D, I'll be sick to death of granny squares by the time I finish with them. Oh dear, right, good night, John, and go home while you're winning, please. I don't want to read about you being bankrupt. Right, I'm going to go. Thank you all for your company and keeping me awake. Didn't think I'd make it this far, to be quite honest. And I should say good night to everybody, and I'll see you all hopefully next week. Well, I say see you, you know, I mean, with my eyes, I'll blur you. Oh dear, it's a good job it's not got. I've got pictures of everybody up there because I wouldn't be able to see what you look like anyway. So yeah, so good night, and I hope I get a good night's sleep. So thank you all for your company, and I'll see you all next week. Night all.